Welcome. Happy Friday. This is Lynn with Lynn's Wine Fun, and this is Wine Fun Friday. I did my last video last Friday with the wonderful double date, which was a great dessert wine. Tonight's selection for review is Desvia, and I'm super excited about it. It is a Tempranillo Garnacha, 70% Tempranillo and 30% Garnacha. It is a Spanish grape that this comes from Spain, and it is brought here. It's vinted here, and I have exciting news about this. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but I'm super excited and really proud to work for a company that doesn't just say they make good wines. They actually put their money where their mouth is, and they go into contests. So this is a silver medal winner in the San Francisco International Wine Competition. And so not just local, international. So they put their money where their mouth is. And we got a silver. So I'm super excited about that. So I'm going to share about this wine, but I'm also going to share about if you host a party for Traveling Vineyard, what happens is I bring 5 wines for tasting. 2 white, 2 red, and a dessert wine. And you bring your friends and gather them up. So one of the things I'm going to review today, as well as the wine, is what your people that come to your party will get for their purchases. I will go over the hostess about Wednesday. I'm going to go over the hostess program as a separate entity. So that way, if you're interested, you'll kind of know what that's about. But I want to know what's going to happen with my friends, man. I'm inviting them over. I want to be able to tell them, hey, come to my party. This is going to be so cool. And here's what you can get just for buying 3 bottles of wine. 3, that's all. 3 bottles of wine. One of the things you can get for $4 is these darling little tulips. Isn't it cute? It's so cute. And you get 3 of them for $4. This is a $13 value. But there's a couple things I like about it. I love the colors. They're really colorful. This just pops out, and then you can see as you can pour the wine. I'm not going to be using this tonight, but I'll tell you why in a second. But the other thing that I really love about it is when I put it in the refrigerator, it's not one of those bulky wine stoppers. And it really goes down in there, and it still looks really nice. So the other thing that you can get, which I'm excited, is if you buy 6 bottles of wine, you can get the tulips and this Arctic pole. Now, I got a really funny story about this Arctic pole. This is why this is take 2, because the Arctic pole is really good. You'll want to chill this wine. It should be reds. This is a table red, and red wine should be between 65 and 68 degrees. So what you do is stick it in the freezer for about 15 minutes before serving it. But also before, go ahead and serve a couple glasses of the wine, and it'll already be cold. But to keep it cold, we have a thing called an Arctic pole. And this is a $20 value, or $19.99, excuse me. And it's only $5 if you buy the 6 bottles of wine. But the cool part is so you stick this in the freezer for an hour, and you have the pour, and you put them together. Voila! As you can see, it's going to come like most of the way down. So I'm going to stick it in there. And the funny story is, so this is the reason that I do videos and not live, because I would have had to stop my video. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't thinking, and I stuck it in there. And I had wine everywhere. So my little advice is, make sure you remember to pour a couple glasses of wine before you stick this wonderful pole into your bottle so that your wine stays at a nice temperature. One of the things that is special about red wines is it's a little bit higher acidity and things like that. So the last item is, if you buy 12 bottles, if you buy a case, you can get the tulips, you can get the Arctic pole, plus you can get this $30 value of the aerator. And I have some other things it can be used on, which I will be happy to review with you at your party, or I might review it down the line. But for tonight, we're going to be using it on the Desvia because it is a red wine. Just note that white wines do not need to be aerated, and neither do the sparkling wines. They don't. So we're going to take this. It's got its own little holder, which I really appreciate, you know, because you want to just have it on the table available. This is the glass for tonight. It's from my mom and dad's collection of wine glasses, and they have since passed, and I'm really excited to have them. They're fancy, which I like. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to hold it over the top. You want to make sure that the little holes aren't covered. And I'm going to go ahead and pour this so we can get on with our tasting part. One of the things I talk about is pairings. If you know me at all, you know that I didn't believe in pairings, and now I am a firm believer in pairings. So I looked this up, and for the Desvia, if you go onto our site, you can click on any bottle of wine where it says, if there's a tab that says wine pairings, and click on that bottle and it'll take you to the pairings. There's 5 categories. There is small plates, desserts, entrees, sippers, which is drinks, and cheeses, cheeses. So I just want to talk briefly about that really quickly. This really lends itself to the summer. It's a nice summer barbecue. I saw that there was some pulled barbecue pork, potato salad, baked beans. Cheeses, it generally is more of a sheep's milk type of cheese, like machengo, I believe is how that's pronounced. And because it is from the region of Spain, and that is they have more of that than the others, like we have cows. So they also have some desserts, and I have to tell you, there's one of my favorites, which is tiramisu, which is what it pairs with. But they have this recipe that I am so trying for my next little party I have to go to. It's called Monster Cookie Dip. Not monster cookies, dip. So you can take, some fruit, and you can take some grain crackers or little cookies and things like that. I mean, it just sounds fascinating to me, but that's just me. It lends itself to red sauces and things like that. Some of the notes with this beautiful wine are, they has very peppery notes. It has some rich berry notes, raspberry, strawberry, has a nice vanilla to it. Pepper is always good for me because Syrah is my absolute favorite. This is very, very smooth. It is not, doesn't have a lot of bite to it. So it's kind of it's a white pepper, so it's a little smoother, kind of a cigar. It is actually vinted in oak, American oak and French oak. And so that kind of gives it some vanilla-y, cigar-y, type oaky, nutty flavors. So let's go ahead and taste. Again, we're going to go ahead. Now, wine was made for sipping, right? We don't drink wine. We sip wine for a reason. Let it, that first sip, you can't even hardly pay attention to it because your body's like, wait, what was that? Oh, that's wine. Okay. So you got to get your taste buds in your brain to kind of connect up now. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to taste this 2 more times and tell you kind of what I feel and taste. So that little pepperiness is coming through, and I can kind of taste a little bit of cinnamon in there. That's kind of coming through. And then the berries, the vanilla, all of that, the good oakiness of that, little bit of that is coming through too. So anyway, I wanted to go ahead and end this video with telling you again, this is Desvia, which is a Tempranillo and Garnacha Spanish wine from Traveling Vineyard. It is an award-winning wine, and I have so enjoyed doing this video for you and sharing my silly little story and my advice. But I hope you all have a fabulous, fun Friday and weekend, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.